And now again, it is my privilege to introduce to you the valedictorian of the senior class of 2012 of Logos Christian Academy, Miss Maria Paula Moore.
Dear parents, teachers, classmates, and friends, a wise man once said, the tassel is worth the hassle. Was it worth the grueling 4 hours of math and physics every Tuesday? Was it worth studying madly 2 minutes before the test, trying to cram in those last bits of information we missed? Was it worth those mind-blowing tests that seemed to be a conspiracy to take even the best students down? Though at the time, I think all of us would have said no. Today we see things a little differently. Today we see the fruits of our work, the dividends in our investment. Today, with wiser eyes, we see that each subject, each lesson, each difficulty we encountered shaped and formed us into the people we are today. Today is the fulfillment of 4 years of blood, sweat, and tears. Okay, maybe not blood, and worth celebrating. Thank you for coming to rejoice with us on this very special day. As valedictorian of the graduating class of 2012, it is my place to speak for the whole class. So much has been done for us, and there's so much thanks due. First and foremost, I want to say that our thanks is due to God. He put each and every one of us in this school for a specific reason, known only to himself, and it is he who has taken us through each and every day of these last 4 years with his care and guidance, and brought us to a place where we can look back and be amazed at all that he has accomplished through us. Secondly, I would like to thank our parents. I don't think we'll ever understand, except maybe when we have children of our own, how much you sacrificed to help us get this far. I know our thanks could never repay all that you have done. Thank you that no matter how terrible our day as a high school student might have gone, you were always there for us to fall back on, confident of your love and support. Thank you for believing in us enough to keep us going. Whether we like to admit it or not, you are our role models. Mom and Dad, I would like to thank you especially. I've never doubted for a minute that you love me more than anybody else in this world does. I can never repay you for all that you have done for me. You're my inspiration. Now, on behalf of my whole class, I would like to thank the teachers who invested time, effort, and hard work into our education. You didn't just do your job well, but went far and beyond. Instead of being merely teachers, you were our helpers, our mentors, our friends. You went out of your way, sacrificing time and energy to help us do well in school and also spiritually and emotionally. Thank you, Ms. Corralia. You taught our Bible class for many years, giving us the priceless gift of Bible knowledge to carry with us into our future. More than this, through the lens of this knowledge and through your love and wisdom, you helped us to see, and for some of us to meet, God. Thank you, Ms. Bain. You were patient with us through some of our toughest years, and because you stuck with it, helped us see them through. Thank you for not giving up on us. Thank you, Ms. Olga, for the wonderful gift of a second language. Thank you for being the most patient and perseverant person I know. Ms. Lozani, your classes were unforgettable. Thank you for your sense of humor and for putting up with our sense of humor as well. Thank you for being tough enough to handle us, and yet at the same time showing us that you care. Ms. Simona, thank you for your fun literature classes and your imaginative assignments. Thank you, Mr. Q, for sharing with us from the great knowledge of the Bible. You opened our eyes to many things. Thank you for going beyond the lesson and caring about the state of our hearts. Ms. Lija, you were the guardian angel of our class, watching out for those that were stumbling or lagging behind. I don't know how it is possible for one person to help so many other people and still always have time for a smile and a friendly word. Our class disappointed you more times than I like to recall, but you never ever let that stop you from doing what you do best, helping and loving people whether they deserve it or not. Though at first we did not hit it off too well, that quickly changed and you have become one of our most beloved teachers. Thank you for doing much more than was required of you, for doing your absolute best to ensure that we not only pass your tests, but also learn and remember what you teach. Thank you for opening up to us the world of literature. You have been not only a great teacher that knows how to make your classes enjoyable, but also a valuable friend. Thank you for all the laughs, the Starbucks outings, and the interesting paper topics. I think I speak for the whole class when I say that we will miss diagramming with you. Ms. Christina, Mom, thank you for teaching us some of the hardest subjects in high school. You somehow made even the most difficult concepts clear, and were good enough to explain them to us even 6 times in a row until we understood. Thank you for your wise advice at devotions every morning, and for all the effort you put into planning field trips and science fairs, even though you didn't have to, just for us to enjoy. Your spirit of willingness to serve is an inspiration. Mr. Larry, Dad, you have been chained to our class ever since we became your homeroom 6 long years ago. You have been with us through thick and thin. I think you know us better than you ever wanted to. Thank you for teaching us math. Your gift, however hard it was to learn, is invaluable and worth all the hard work. Even more, thank you for always being loyal to us. No matter how much we disappointed you, we were still your class, and you always made it clear that you loved us, cared for us, and were out there to make sure we become the best that we can be. And now, I have a few words to say to my class. We've been together for so many years that we know each other through and through. And now at our parting, I want to give you a few words of encouragement that I hope will help you to build beautiful and successful lives, whatever direction you choose. As we leave high school and embark upon the journey of life, we must find out what we believe in. Firstly, we have to make sure that it is true, because that's going to be our foundation. That's what we will be building on for the rest of our lives. And if it's not a good foundation, no matter how hard we will work, how beautiful a structure we will build, and how honestly we try to do it, it will crumble to pieces, and we will have wasted our most precious possession, life. Once we find out what we believe in, we must stick to it. As individuals, we have to determine for ourselves if it is worth standing for. And if it is, then we must stand for it, never backing down. Don't let anybody take away the things most important to you, the things you work for, the people you love, the faith you have. Today is a beginning. This is chapter 1. The end is somewhere in the shadows of the future. The in-between is for us to write. All of us have dreams, but if we want to see our dreams fulfilled, we need to set goals. Too many people go through life one day at a time, never looking into the future, and therefore never accomplishing anything beyond things of the moment. Fitzhugh Dodson said, "Without goals and plans to reach them, you are like a ship that has set sail with no destination. Unless we know where we are going nowhere. If we want to get somewhere, we must first determine our destination. We have to determine what we are living our lives for, set our goals, and work tirelessly for their accomplishment. Don't allow disappointment and failure to discourage you. Don't allow your mistakes to haunt you. Let us persevere and rely on God first and foremost for the strength to finish what we start. Lastly, let's leave this place with God. If we rely on ourselves, we'll make a mess of our lives. God can see into the future. He has everything in his control. He is worth trusting with our future. If we try to make it on our own, we will face shipwreck. Our future is a blank page waiting to be written. Let's write it with God, knowing that this way our lives will be the best that they can be. What we celebrate today is a beginning. That's why it's called the commencement ceremony. But it is also an end. Today marks the end of many things. If you ask the boys, they might say it marks the end of having to shave for gym class. If you ask the girls, we might say it marks the end of scratchy school skirts and being told what color sweater to wear. If you ask Mr. Larry, he might say it marks the end of graying hairs trying to teach us physics. But what it really is the end of something we started 12 years ago, a family. This fragile relationship we shared as classmates is breaking up, and we are now on our own. I want to tell you that I love you all, and I will always be there for you. May God bless you wherever life takes you. I'd like to end with one of my favorite verses that holds for me all the promise of a wonderful future with God. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. God bless the graduating class of 2012. The Benaiah Medallion. Benaiah, David's faithful companion, exemplified the Christian loyalty that makes the ideal follower leader. He eagerly anticipated David's desires and upheld his leader's hands. He was loyal to David without regard for personal cost. During this past year, I have endeavored, with God's help, to lead our class in a way that pleases God. Now I challenge you to lead with loyalty. Be loyal to the administration. Support them enthusiastically, anticipating their desires, understanding their goals, and implementing their requests. Encourage them in their God-given responsibilities to the parents and to the young people of Logos Christian Academy. Be loyal to Christ. Live in such a way that you properly represent your Savior and Lord. Show a pure, powerful testimony of the changed heart and life that comes only from knowing Him. Be loyal to Scripture. Stand without apology for the truth God has given. Study to show yourself approved unto God. Know His word, follow His will, ignore all voices that would draw you away from simple obedience. These are the marks of a Christian leader, and these are the qualities our school needs from you, the leader of next year's student body, Kiki Snow.